Got it?
Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I want to talk about gravity and its effect on animals and our animation. We fight gravity from the day we're born till the day we're 6 foot under. It's one of those animation principles we all need to know and we all need to understand. Now, before I was an artist, I have a degree in mechanical engineering. And that's really helped me. I didn't think it would, but it's really helped me because I understood physics before I got into animation. And I understood the power of gravity and the power of forces one against another. By understanding these forces of mass and acceleration and gravity, it's actually helped me with my believability. Really, pretty often I see a lot of animators have problems with understanding the speed of acceleration. And it takes the believability out. I see a lot of movies where we have a lot of floaty characters or characters that move too quickly, too fast. And it's not believable. So let's just talk about that a little bit. If we get the speeds right, we get the motion right, things become more believable. Let's see. Let's look at my notes here, and my notes say, okay, Newton's 3 laws go something like this. An object at rest will stay at rest until some force pushes on it, and then it goes into motion. The little squirrel will sit until some force pushes on him. I'll use the word force a lot. I mean any physical power, exerted on him. A push. Newton's next law is acceleration. The acceleration of an object is dependent on 2 variables, the mass of the object and the force acted upon it. So what does this mean? If you have different amounts of force, like the squirrel leg muscles jumping versus the cannon will accelerate the squirrel faster because it has more force. Now everyone's heard this law. The third law is for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Let me draw this little squirrel pushing against another squirrel. One force and the opposite force. The forces are equal and cancel each other out. The reaction is rest. Hi everyone, I'm Russ Edmonds, veteran animator and story artist, and I would love for you to like and subscribe. And not only am I on YouTube, but I'm also on Instagram where I have lots of my Disney animation drawings. And if you want to see this entire episode, go to my Patreon channel. That's patreon.com/Russ Edmonds Animation. And there I have chalk talks and animation tutorials and live webinars, and where I can just pass on all the knowledge that I have of hand-drawn animation that I've gotten from the Disney Masters. I cover things like the animation process and animal drawing, animal behavior, acting, design, story. I try to get into it all. And so the link is down below, and I'll see you there. The reaction is rest. Now, how does this apply to animation? Well, gravity is always pulling down. And at the height of every arc, there is a part of that arc that becomes freefall. Now, if I throw a ball in the air, from the top of the arc to the earth, it's called freefall. And freefall will always remain the same acceleration, 32 feet per second squared. 32 feet per second squared is the acceleration of everything that falls to the earth. So that, therefore, it is going to be the same speed coming down for everything. The amount of mass doesn't matter. A hippo will hit the ground at the exact same time as a squirrel. if they're dropped from the same height.
Now, if you don't remember anything else from this recording, watch this speed that the ball drops from the top of the arc to my hand. My hand is the force pushing up, and then gravity pulls it back down again.
This is the most important part to remember. If you don't remember anything else, everything in free fall falls the same. Everything in free fall falls the same. The only force acting on it is gravity. Now, for our animation purposes, we're going to try to ignore the air friction, except for when we're animating birds, perhaps. Now, I'm going to animate a little squirrel jumping off a diving board. I'm going to think about all those forces we just talked about. This is how I would approach this problem. I'm going to animate this straight ahead and judge the spacing of the bouncing ball. I'm going to use the chest and head as the bouncing ball. I've been animating so long, I have a pretty good feel of the spacing needed to estimate the speed of the forces of the diving board and that free fall to the water. At the top of the arc, the force of the diving board lessens, and gravity takes over and starts pulling it down. Then I switch to that free fall speed. I'll have this little guy going to the water here. I'll animate the water too. Let's see, there's usually a center splash. There we go. Let me bring up the ball. I tried to mimic that same speed coming down. Now here's the example of free fall. Remember, the observation of life is what we're trying to create on the screen. And the believability of the movement is as important as the acting. So until the next time, keep drawing, keep animating, and we'll talk soon. Bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And join me on Patreon for some extra animation fun.